I have some audio right here. Why? And I'll go to the chat on the bam. Now let's see if I can pull this chat out. Copy that link. Send it over here. Bob. Pop out chat. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Minimize that. That's working. If anyone's listening, I need to know if I can turn that up. If I turn my microphones up, it should work too. I don't know why it's popping up down here. Let me check this audio again. That one. There's that. Then if I also try to yeah, it's just super quiet. Can you that's probably super loud. Can you hear the hum from my miner? My headphones are turned up super loud too. Had to go to 66. So with that right there, you should be able to not hear my miner and only hear my voice, which is right there. But hopefully I'm getting that turned off. Well, if I was ever doing a podcast in here, I'd have that turned off. So now I just also need to switch that and then see if desktop audio works too. And then compare it, pull it down a little bit. But I need more monitors here. But hopefully
it'll be fine by
what I want
dusk,
to
but
get
I'm
to is
telling you, baby.
if I wanted to like show
These
everybody
things
something,
eat at
I
your
could
bones
go
and
to a
drive your
screen.
young mind crazy.
I could go to a screen kind of like this.
But when you place your head between my collar and jaw, I don't know much, but there's no weight at all.
So what I want to really try and do is
I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I
go
don't.
from like this screen right here, and then if I'm talking
Cause
to
if I
somebody,
say I miss
we bring
you,
up
I
like
know
like a
that you won't.
specific video or clip or something like that, whatever I want to.
But I miss you in the mornings when I see
If I want
the
to show the
sun.
person something, hold on real quick.
Something in the orange tells
I
me
need to
we're
check and
not
see if
done.
this is still playing
To you I'm just a man, to me you're all I am. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Poison myself again. Something in the orange tells me you're never coming home.
through. Yeah, my mic is pretty quiet. I can get
Need to hear you say you've been waiting with orange dancing in your eyes from bulb light. Your voice only trembles when you try to speak. Take me back to us dancing this wood used to creak. To you I'm just
I can learn how to fix that. So, pretty much, I really need to control, like, I need to be able to control the sounds on my computer and to everyone else's headphones at the same time. So I have like it's not eventually what's going to happen is I have a mixer. I think I showed you guys my mixer, but the mixer will actually go like right here. That will all go right here, and then I'll be able to control all my audio stuff. But when I control that audio on the mixer, all I'm doing is controlling it for anybody who's listening with headphones connected to it, which means if I wanted to control the audio for anybody watching or listening, I would have to turn it down like inside my streaming stuff. So I really gotta make sure I do stuff like that. And when I was live streaming in the past, I was pretty much like, I'd always forget shit like that. I forget to switch the scenes. But anyways, I'm getting a hang of it. It's a lot for me right now. I mean, I got that mic right there, this one, headphones, mixer. So right now, even with this camera too, like it's super blurry and ugly ass looking. I know I've tried, like I really tried working on it, and if I come really close to that camera, it'll autofocus on me because the camera is only good, that the little lens in the webcam, it's only good for like 3 feet, but anything beyond 3 feet, it kind of sucks. So I want to run this. You guys can't really see it, but like it's just the A6000. I've been using it to like make like little short YouTube videos for this mining channel right here, but I still need to make like the podcast channel. I still need to make the channel on YouTube before I need to create emails and all that crap. And then also all our men's group stuff. So I need to buy new cords because all the cords, or some of them that I have, they don't even reach. So I've been trying to figure all that crap out. Yeah, my screen's not full. Lighting setup needs to change. That'll help a lot. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out a way, as far as the lighting goes, to do better lighting and to like not make it super bright and visible. And I'm trying to do a lot of it more budget friendly just because I've already sunk so much money like into my miner and stuff like that. If you get a second, go and just look at like a quick video from this YouTube channel and how I have it set up. It's like I put a lot of time and shit into that. But obviously for a podcast, if me and my friends or whoever was doing it, I would shut that thing off so that you wouldn't even be able to hear it. And I don't know, it's just a lot. The lighting, the video, I mean, you guys, like Emma, like you guys know that stuff, but holy crap, you can just go into the rabbit hole. And like I tried getting the best mics that I could, which I got 2 of them were a gift. Dexter bought the other one. So the mics are really, really good. The only thing that really sucks is if I go like this, or if I put something down, because these mic stands are connected, and the little like shock absorber underneath the boom arm, it picks up any vibration at all. So I need to either go into the mix amp and fix that, or put something else under there that's going to be way better off. You know, way better to absorb some of the shock. And then this table is like, it's on wheels. So, like, later on tonight, Mackenzie and her friend are coming over to play, I don't know, like Sea of Thieves or Minecraft or something. And so this table will go back over there, and then I have my laptop and stuff all set up over there. And I just stick a monitor right here, and I got extra mouse pad, and then just plug in the USB for the mouse pad, plug in the laptop, and plug in the monitor, and then this is like a whole nother like little gaming setup like right beside my other computer. And then in the corner over there, I have Dexter's old computer, which is gonna most likely turn into where I would do most of my editing, or at least if me and Dexter started the podcast, if he'd get off his girlfriend's ass. No, I'm just playing. But he's just been busy with work and driving to North Carolina and stuff like that. So I been kind of doing this all by myself. But it's been fun setting it up. Get a dead cat. So I was looking at getting, I don't want to get, the way this room is set up, I don't want to get one of those big round things. So I was thinking about getting some sort of filter for this microphone to really help out. And you can get them for super cheap. But there's like, I haven't even in this mix. I'll show you real quick what it looks like. If you haven't seen it. So I haven't even like messed with any of the internal settings in that at all yet. So I still got to do all that. And I have one of my family friends. He did like music and was in a band and all that stuff. So he worked with that a lot. And he's like, yeah, I'll come over and help you set some stuff up and do that. But it's just, I need to start testing stuff and recording and then like listening back to the recording. So I'm trying to get like some of my friends to come over and just come in and just chat for like 15 minutes and just record it and then listen to the video, listen to the audio, check everything, see how it's all running, and start like fine-tuning stuff. But the other thing I don't want to do either is it's already been, 5 months since I got this stuff, and it's taken me this long to get it set up and this long to get started like testing it out, that I'm like, shit, I better just at least start a little bit and see how it's going. So we'll see. I plan on doing a whole lot, and with work and the baby and how everything's been lately, it's just been super crazy. So if any, thank you for all the suggestions. I really appreciate it. What is the podcast about? So what I want, there's a couple of different things that I'm doing. Mounted what on the ceiling? Like the lights on the ceiling? Or mounted the mics on the ceiling? The mics. Yeah, I could. The only thing is, since I did all my mining stuff in this room would get, I have a bunch of these little like thermometers, these little tiny thermometers everywhere, because the temperatures in this room were getting insane. Like it was like 85 degrees in here with 3 computers running, monitors, and then my miner. So I was on a job site and I freaking yacked a fan from one of the job sites that they're going to throw away. So there's a fan. I'll show you. So with the fan right there, it's kind of not really going to happen, which kind of sucks, but whatever. But eventually, I have some more mounts for these mics and stuff, and eventually I'll be able to get them a lot better. And a lot of the stuff, a lot of the noises and the vibrations and stuff like that, I can take out through this mixer. But as far as the podcast goes, I literally have 3 different ideas, and it sounds really stupid. Like, most people like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast, and they come up with an idea. No, my dumbass had to come up with 3 different podcasts to do all at once. So, for the first one is not really going to be a podcast, though. It's more of a what I want to do is to make a long story short. One time we're driving somewhere. I can't remember where it was. I think we were going from like Charleston back to Greenville or something. And my grandparents were with us. It was me, my mom, my dad, like Dexter, and my grandparents, or it was something like that. And I remember I just turned around and I looked at my grandma and I was like, I want to know, like, give me your story, like your life story from as far as you can remember up until now. Or up until, like, I was born or whatever. And so she told me, like, I want to know who your parents were. What do you remember about your grandparents? What was your first job? What was elementary school like? Like, give me everything that you can remember all the way up as far as you can go. So I remember that it kind of changed me because she told me a lot of different things that I'd never even heard before. And I was like, man, that's really cool. I wish I would have known that a long time ago. I was just too dumb to ask, so what I thought of was I want to, like, interview my grandparents if they were willing to do it. I like to interview them and be able to talk to them and just, like, say, hey, give me your life story. Give me some of your stories so that I could take that. I would film it and record it and I could save it. I probably wouldn't make it public. I'd probably keep it, like, locked, and then just, if someone from my family wanted to see it, then I would, like, send them the link to it or send them the video clip so that way they could watch it whenever they wanted to. But just to have, like, something to pass down to my kids or my kids' kids, right? And so whenever my kids come to me and ask me, like, hey, what were your grandparents like? Or what were your great-grandparents like? Well, I could have a 2-hour conversation or a 1-hour conversation or whatever it is with those people, and my kids or whatever could listen to it and be like, wow, that's what your grandpa sounded like. That's what, that's how he talked. That's a cool story. And then obviously history repeats itself, or at least I believe history repeats itself. So, having, your grandparents' stories all written down or at least recorded, then your kids could hear them or your grandkids could hear them or whatever, and they'd be, hey, I'm going through something like that in my life. How does that, how could I use those things? And because everything that I've learned, it's all, like, been passed down to me from other people who are older, smarter, been through similar situations or whatever. And so I'm just a combination of all the people that came before me. But the thing is, I can't go back to my great-grandparents and ask them stuff, and I don't know their story. So it'd just be the first thing would just be a really cool way of, getting my family's stories down, and getting them, like, so just something to go back to, So that's one. I call it the preservation project, because I'm trying to preserve my family's history by interviewing them and just asking them their life story and, asking them different questions about life and stuff like that. So that'd be one. So the second one is our men's group that we have bi-weekly. It's every Wednesday. a lot of the guys who come to our men's group have always been like, hey, you should live stream this. You should post this because this is so cool. You need to get it out there. And for me, the men's group has always been about growing your relationship with your friends. And so you have friends who actually have your back. You have friends who actually want the best for you. You have friends who really want you to succeed in life. And to have friends like that, you can't just have that and and live stream it. Like it doesn't work. And you can't have hundreds of people coming together and taking part, because to be a really good friend or to be someone who is like you're really close to, you have to like have like physical interaction with them. You have to know them, and you have to know some of their deeper secrets or some of their struggles. Well, I'm not going to live stream people's struggles or any hardships that someone's going through or whatever. Like that's just I can't. And then the other thing is, sometimes somebody who, maybe comes to the men's group, I wouldn't be able to, or maybe I'm comfortable enough behind a camera, but maybe someone else, if they knew they're being live streamed, then they might not ask a question or speak out or whatever. They might be too nervous. So I was like, I don't know how, because I think it's good. I think our men's group is great and everyone loves it, or a lot of the guys like it. And so I'm like, yeah, that would be a cool thing to like get out there, but how would I do it? So what I thought of was, I'll do a podcast on the previous subject, that we talked about in our men's group. And so I'll give you guys a quick recap of like one of the last ones that we did. We talked about men's fashion and men's presence in life, like how you present yourself with your clothing and your looks and your style and all that. And then also your presence, how the presence you bring when you walk into a room. And so we talked a lot about that. And so maybe some people who had some really good insights and had some really good add-ons to what we were talking about, I would tell them, hey, you had some good things to say on Wednesday during men's group. Would you want to come on the podcast and we'll do a recap of the past men's group? And that way we could use our own discretion, to leave out anything that, people might not want broadcasted over the internet. So maybe it would be me and 2 other people or 3 other people or whatever from the men's group that could all come in on maybe the following Saturday after the men's group. We'll record a podcast and we'll do a 30-minute, recap of what that men's group was about. And so anybody who missed it could get a recap and, be in on all the inside jokes and stuff like that. And also anybody who's outside of our, the people we know could also take something from it, almost like they were part of the men's group. And so that way we could build an even larger community around, the whole discussion and everything like that. So that is the second thing. So it's pretty much just a men's group podcast, so that guys who come to the men's group will be able to do like a recap of what was talked about if they missed it. And then, that's like 30 minutes, and maybe it'll be an hour podcast. We'll do 30 minutes of that, and then 30 minutes of shooting the shit with whoever, comes, talking about regular dude stuff or guy stuff or, stuff going on in the world or whatever. And maybe it will be an hour, maybe it'll be 2 hours, whatever. It'll just be kind of loose on the second 30 minutes. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is on the off weeks, so we do men's group bi-weekly. And on the off week, me and Dexter want to do our own thing where it's just like one-on-one with me and him, where we talk about, I really want to focus on the basics of like life and being a man and stuff like that. And then also like just picking interesting topics, interesting stuff to talk about. So like one of the first ones, me and Dexter did the carnivore diet for a month. So, and we have like some notes and stuff. So we just sit down and talk about that We took on this challenge. We did it for a month. Here's what we learned. Here's what happened to us, yada, yada, yada. Or maybe we talk about other basic stuff. So one of the things I want to do with just me and Dexter is I want to run through like, take the average dude, the average guy, the average man, or the average person, and like, you might not be an Olympic lifter, or you might not be like an investment guru, or a diet guru, or super smart person. But what are, if you took the average person and you gave them all the basics for what it is to be a great person in life, fitness, security, looks, health, finances, all that stuff, and we just broke it down to just the simple basics that you could do. So just like right off the bat, you could do like the basics of finances, and you could talk about saving your money, investing your money, and making money. And then only give the basics of those three, where me and Dexter would sit there and we discuss like, hey, what are the super easy, simple things that you could do to be good with finances? And they're just like, they're the little tiny easy things that you could start doing maybe tomorrow that could get your foot in the door to then go deeper down the rabbit hole. Health, the very basic things you can do about, do for your health. We could talk about drink water, exercise a couple days a week. Here's how you can exercise a couple days a week. Here's some simple things you could do. Get to sleep early and only eat real food. Stop eating fake food. So it wouldn't be these super in-depth carnivore diet, keto diet, low-cal diet. It's not these super in-depth things. It's just very, very basic on the surface level that would get somebody started and going through their whatever part of life that is. We could talk about relationships, and we'll just give you the basics of, a relationship, and whether that be a friend or whatever. We could just talk about listening to people, or whatever, the basics of knowledge. Just all like the very, very basic surface level things to help you become like the best all around person that you could be. Because like maybe you're super good in some areas, so you're like, okay, I don't need that stuff, but you can just get a recap on the basic stuff. And then maybe in some areas of life you're not even close to being good at that part, and you can at least then get the basics down. So that would be a whole thing with just me and Dexter doing our little thing by ourselves. So that's the three things. So the preservation thing, where I interview like my grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever, cousins, whoever it may be, just to get like my family's stories kind of like almost like written down, but in a audio visual form. So that's one. Two is the men's group thing, where we recap the men's group, what we talked about the previous week. And then the third thing would be on the off week, it would be mine and Dexter's thing, where we kind of, maybe we interview someone, maybe we talk about basic, man stuff, maybe we talk about recent events, just whatever we want. And all three of those things would be under the same like YouTube channel. And so the YouTube channel, once I get it all started, hopefully I can get the name and it's not like trademarked or anything like that, but it's A2I, the letter A, the number 2, capital I. And that's kind of what we call our men's group. It's called Aspire to Inspire. So that's kind of like our little slogan thing. So that's what I think I'm going to call the men's group. And so that's just kind of where we're at right now. A lot of it's just in my head, and not a lot of it's written down. But with the free time that I do have, I'm really trying to get some of this stuff together, test it, and do what I need to do. I have like, for like the podcasting with me and Dexter, I have like 3 or 4 ideas ready to go. I want to interview Pa Kuzisto. I want to interview my dad's dad, Marshall. And then for the men's group, I have like all my next like 7 topics all picked out, and I just need to take the time to do the research and write it all down. Yeah. Well, so here I'll give you my issue, or my quick 2 cents on the men's thing. For one, I'm not gonna start telling women what to do just because I'm not a chick, and to be honest with you, doesn't really interest me that much. But I feel personally, and there's research that I've read and all stuff like this, but with men, right? Men are going downhill like extremely downhill. And it's just, you can see it's so clearly in modern society and stuff like that. And it's up to the good men in life to like really take a stand and make a move forward to being better. Now, what that takes is there's many different things, and I've been for like the past 5 years I've been putting myself through the ringer and just testing and trying everything. And what I really think is that men don't talk to each other anymore, and there's no relationship there. There's no like think about how many conversations, all the conversations with everybody you've had in your life, right? And what, 60% of the conversations we have now are all over text message. And nobody sits face to face anymore. Nobody comes by to like, hey, I'm in the area. I'm going to, let's see if so and so's home and we'll go sit down and have coffee with them. Like, that shit don't happen no more. And I kind of recognize that with like my friends, and I noticed like the big thing that really clued me off on this, and this was legit like 15 years ago. I recognized this. I asked my dad, I'm like, hey, who is the best man in your wedding? And I can't remember who he even told me it was, but he told me who it was. I'm like, I have no clue who that person is. I've never met the guy before. I've never talked to him before. I'd never even seen a picture of him. And my dad like pulled up a picture from his wedding. He's like, yeah, that guy was my best man. I'm like, when was the last time you even talked to him? He's like, I don't know, it's been years. And this was like 10, 12 years ago. And I'm like, if somebody's the best man at my wedding, like, I picked that person for a specific reason. Like, they stood beside me for this big moment in life for a very important reason. They're supposed to be there to check up on me and make sure that, my relationship and my marriage and family is like going good. They're supposed to be my support. Well, how does that happen? And I understand that people grow apart and, you move and crop. Like, I get all that. But I'm like, it's not as easy to be in tune with each other anymore. You have to almost force it to happen. And so that's where the men's group came about, to where it's like, hey, every time I ever call somebody to be like, hey, let's hang out, let's go get dinner, whatever, it's like, oh, it gets rescheduled. Hey, next week. Hey, I can't do it. Next week. And then it ends up just never happening. So I'm like, I want to pick a place and time that, hey, we meet on this day, we come together, we talk about fun stuff, we have fun, we cut up, maybe we get serious, whatever we need to do to like build the relationship and like be able to look in people's eyes and go, hey, I think that you need to do this, or I think that is wrong and this is the right way, because the relationship is like going out the window. You can't have anybody who's old enough knows that, or anybody who's old enough, who's lived long enough, has like text something to somebody and someone either took it the totally wrong way and you were like, oh no, that's not how I meant it like this, or whatever, because you can't see emotion in text messages. It's just words. But when you're sitting in front of somebody, you can tell how they mean it. You can read their body language. You can do all that stuff. And that stuff just isn't happening anymore. So I wanted to do more of that and, get people excited for meeting and talking and, just coming together to be friends with each other. Like, how can you call yourself a friend if you never even see the person in person anymore? So that's just kind of how a lot of all that got started. And so then I'm just trying to take that and that kind of model and frame and bring it to like a digital thing. Like, do my very best to bring that entire idea digital, and that's, yeah. And I get that. I get that, people grow apart. People, go off, they move away. People lose, you quit being friends with people because they make mistakes or whatever it may be. Like, I understand life is life. But for the people that mean the most to you, it's like, you should probably talk to them more than you text them. You know what I mean? You should probably sit across from them ask questions. And then the other thing with men, everyone knows this about guys. Guys, they hide everything. Not in a bad way, but like I don't want to get all touchy-feely, but like the things that really matter, their questions that they have about life, they don't go out and ask people for that. And then the other thing is, if I see a dude struggling with whatever it may be, like I ain't going to go and try to help him because I don't know if he's going to take it the wrong way. I don't know if he's going to, be mad at me, if he's going to, dislike what I say, whatever. So, but if I have a relationship with that person and I go to them and I'm like, "Hey man, I know, we're friends. I know I can say this to you, but hey, are you doing okay with X, Y, Z or whatever?" But because you've built that relationship, you are able to say those things. Or if you've built that relationship, people are then willing to come to you and ask for advice or ask for help or whatever. But most likely, most of the time, people, they don't ask for help, especially guys. Like, they will not ask for help. They will not tell somebody they're struggling or they're going through a hard situation or whatever. And we've got to the point now, like, oh my gosh, it makes me so happy inside. We've got to the point where more than a handful of times, like, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 times, people in the group chat for our men's group are like, "Hey guys, this is happening right now. Can you please pray for me?" Like, putting that out there to 12 different guys, like, that's pretty awesome to me. I think that's great. And hey guys, I'm going through this, or this is happening to my family, or I'm struggling with this. Could you guys pray for me? And I'm like, and people are replying like, "Yeah, man, would love to pray for you. Doing it right now. Hope everything's okay. Give us an update." And people actually remember and come back a couple days later and like, "Hey, about that thing," they'll at the person and be like, "Hey, how's that thing going? How's that situation going?" And so to see that blew my freaking mind. I'm like, man, that is so badass. That's so cool. And so that's what I'm really trying to create, is a place where people can be honest, come together. They know that the person sitting across from them or beside them, they have their best interest in mind. Like, they're not going to screw them over. Some things may happen, things may be said that people dislike, whatever, but for the most part, people have their backs. People are there for them, like genuinely there for them. Not just like that, not that bullshit like, "Hey, praying for you," and then you never say a prayer, you never check up, you never take no action. Like, I hate that stuff. But for people to actually be there, to actually be invested in the other people who are with them, like, that's what I'm looking for. That's some freaking cool ass shit right there. Oh, heck yeah, you guys are going to a small group. That's freaking dope. So, and then most likely I'm not going to live stream the whole, like, interviewing my grandparents and stuff like that. But I would live stream, I would record and live stream the other two things and then post them on their own, on the channel. Not on this channel. This channel is for my mining stuff, which, not very good. Emma, don't make fun of my shit edits because I've been running into formatting issues really bad. So if you check one of them, anyways, I don't know what I just did on my phone, but yeah, if you guys start a small group, that's really cool. It's awesome. Just sitting down with people and being able to talk to them and stuff like that. It's awesome. But anyways, it's been like 40-ish minutes. So thank you guys for checking it out. I really appreciate it. You guys are the freaking bomb.com. When I get things started and live streaming and stuff like that, I'll definitely post a link in that same group chat. So if anybody wants to join or whatever, you're watching on your TV, so you can't post in the chat on the YouTube. But if I'll post whatever links I need to whenever I get everything set up and more people over. But anyways, thank you guys for checking out. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I gotta get my room back set up so Mackenzie can play some games. But anybody's.